The natural resources sector is a big employer clearly here in Northern Ontario. And while some are calling today's news from Parliament Hill a big win, others are taking a more measured response. The Mining Association of Canada is applauding measures unveiled in the budget, specifically those they say will accelerate investments and make them more competitive.
This is a big flashing light on Canada saying, yeah, we're here and we can deliver.
Among the highlights, they're focused on $2 billion over 5 years to create a critical minerals sovereign fund, expanding the eligibility for the critical mineral exploration tax credit to include 12 new minerals, and almost $372 million towards a first and last mile fund that would support the development of critical minerals projects and supply chains. In this era of trade wars and economic uncertainty, Grattan says the Prime Minister appears to be banking on natural resources.
I know that Europe would like to wean itself off. They import a lot of nickel from Russia. Why don't they import it from us instead? We produce a lot of nickel in Sudbury and in Canada generally.
It's hard to be too optimistic right now. That said, there were some measures in the budget today that will offer some relief.
Derek Nybor represents the Forest Products Association of Canada, an industry that has been hit hard as of late. With softwood lumber duties at 45%, a soft market in the U.S., and 2,000 layoffs across Canada in the last few weeks, the feeling is more needs to be done. They're welcoming commitments to address regulatory duplication between the federal and provincial governments and the inclusion of investment tax credits for biomass projects.
But the biggest priority for the sector is to see Canada make progress at that negotiating table with the Americans to ensure we get some kind of a deal that works for Canada on lumber.
For both sectors and both men, it comes down to the customer base, making sure someone is ready to buy.
If we could sell another half $500 million to Japan or another $1 billion to China, that's going to be incremental in growth. But you know, it's $30 billion that we're selling annually to the United States.
It's also a geopolitical imperative. Like our mining sector and the West's mining sector. I mean, we're vulnerable because of what China's done and how China now monopolizes the production of many minerals and metals. This budget and last week's announcement at the G7 are setting us on a course to recover and to regain some of our lost ground and to position Canadian mining as a go-to jurisdiction for the US and for our allies in Europe and in Asia.